Hello, my name is Rich. I use they, he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. It's Saturday here as we play, and therefore it is Star Wars Saturdays in 2025. We are playing Stellar Conflict, which, if you listen to the previous episode, you know it is a hack of a hack of a hack of a hack. So, released on Google Plus, uh, incomplete slightly. I took all the basic moves and just reinserted stone top moves, which are Dungeon World moves with a slightly clearer language, in my opinion. Then I renamed a lot of them because I wanted them to feel more Star Warsy. I missed one, Zootolores, as Greg pointed out near the end, and that is now in our basic moves as well. We have a death's door move. When you are dying, you glimpse a door to the world between worlds. Describe it, then roll plus nothing, and some cool things will happen. And I realized there were a thing called inserts in Stone Top, and I did not change that part of the move for some reason. Who knows why? We are playing in the Tapani sector. The Tapani sector was created by Weston Games for the D6 Star Wars system, and Star Wars Saturdays is, of course, where last 6 years plus I've been running different indie, small press, and OSR type RPGs that have been hacked, reskinned, or just thrown into the Star Wars milieu. We are playing post Return of the Jedi, not quite to Mandalorian time frame when the New Republic is taking over, wresting control of the galaxy from the clutches of the Empire. We are in Tapani Sector, which isn't in any official Star Wars canon. It's Legends canon that existed in a few comic books and novels, I believe, but it was primarily a attempt in a late stage West End games with Star Wars D6 to come up with their own setting. It is fun because it feels to me like a little bit of Dune, a little bit of Game of Thrones, but probably a little more Dune and some Star Wars mixed in. So we have noble houses, we have a thing called light foils, we have duelists. We've got all that cool stuff. And this is a crew of a nice medium class freighter known as the Night Insurgent. They are currently stuck while trying to bring some freight back to the. Oh, good God, my old eyes. I just trying to read red on black is just a bad idea. The Pelagia province, but unfortunately, something went wrong with the hyperdrive engines while you were in light speed, and you uh, needed the sudden help of your friend Dodbadoo to get out of hyperspace and not get blown to smithereens. You dropped into what is now the Calypsa province, which used to be part of the Pelagia province, but now is technically Calypsa province area in an asteroid field. You discovered in that asteroid field that there was a ship that had been lost for quite a while, in fact, a couple of decades. While while investigating the ship, you ran into some things that we called crimson slugs. These things seem to be have been draining the power from this ship for quite some time, had drained it completely of its power. You also, after defeating those slugs, a couple of them tried to come back and drain the power from your ship, leaving the Nebula Scion, which is the name of that ship, behind. Dot Badu and Rix Barrand did a bit of investigation and found that this ship, the Nebula Scion, was a ship under House Pelagia, and that it attempted to escape the house to someplace safe long ago during the Great Jedi Purge, when the Empire had control, strong control of House Tapani, of all the Tapani houses and the Tapani expanse, and were ridding House Pelagia of all of its Jedi and holdings. House Pelagia took a great deal of damage and was nearly destroyed, lost a number of seats on um, the ruling council. That is the phrase. And this was evidently sent by the current ruler of House Pelagia, this ship, the current ruler of House Pelagia, an older man by the name of Lord Theos Paddocks. You discovered at the end of our session, when I was hard framing things to rush things to the end, that there were two beings frozen in carbonite who appeared to still have life signs, and you brought them aboard. So that's all of the background of what happened in our first session. I'm sure I missed a few smaller things, but let's remind ourselves of our characters. So we're going to head from the left-hand side of the character keeper towards the right, and if you could introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your character, and remind us of what your character's drive is. So, Mark, if you could go first, please.
Yeah, I am playing Maxon, the bounty hunter. Maxon works for House Pelagia and has a bunch of guns. um, uh, right now, Maxon's drive is justice to bring the guilty to justice and justice to the guilty. And I don't think the worms were necessarily guilty, but I did burn them up real good. So.
You did. You burned them with fire in zero G in space, and I love it. I love it. It's very great. Thank you very much, Mark. Next up is Keith.
I'm Keith. I use the he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Dod Badu, she, her. She is a Rhodian Fringer, which is definitely out of the ordinary in this sector of the galaxy. It's very human-centric. She is a bit of a tinkerer, a minor rake, as it were, not a saber rake. I don't want to step on anybody's toes here, but formerly criminal back in Zinja's empire and has kept interesting company and still likes to take risk for the sake of riches. It's all about those new old Imperial credits or old Republic credits or whatever you've got.
And yeah, that's your drive. Thank you very much. That is fantastic. Next up is Kay. Welcome, Kay. So excited to have you here. Please introduce yourself. Tell us about your character and her
Hi,
drive.
I'm Kay. I use the she, they pronouns, and I'll be playing Lord Ulrich Corbinian of House Barnaba the Noble. He, him. He was doing something in his rooms last time that was much more important than whatever the heck you guys were doing. Uh, he is the engaged fiance to the current leader of House Barnaba, who's traveling for reasons. His drives are to uphold tradition because tradition is great.
Cool. Uh, and next up we have Steven.
Hi, my name's Steven. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Rix Barrand, and Rix is the scoundrel playbook. And he's lucky about some things. He doesn't belong to any of the royal houses, but he has blackmail material on one of them, and his move is to break the law. His drive is to break the law.
Ooh. And last but not least is another person who's driven to break the law, Greg.
Hi, I'm Greg. He, him pronouns. I'm playing Valar Nova. She, her. Valar is our saber rake. She had a light foil, but now it will not work because one of those dastardly red serpent things ate it and sucked most of the energy out of it. Uh, but not. Then she was able to use the ships being tied together and roll it and kick it and kill it. Um, but yeah, she's a little beat up, worse for wear from the whole experience. And I think that's it.
Excellent. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
I did have
yes.
one quick thing. So, uh, when I stick to a mission, I believe I have essentially succeeded. Um, I just clear out all of the choices and we just start over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And can you, oh, and I didn't say my drive. Um, can you change your drive?
You can, especially this early. So if you've got one you think is more fun.
Oh, okay. I'll keep to my current one, which is honor. Endanger yourself by coming to the aid of someone in desperate need.
Did I say something that discouraged you from changing your drive?
Well, if it was like more free form, do it anytime you kind of feel like it's changed. Um,
Oh,
I
gotcha.
might have changed it. But if it's more like an overarching, like
No, I
over the
was
whole
saying it's first
campaign thing.
session. It's like it was first session. You're feeling out the character. We're now in second session. If you feel like you
Okay,
have a better picture of your character and you want to swap it, cool. And also, if there's a noteworthy narrative event that would cause you to
gotcha.
change,
Okay.
then that's open, amenable to such a thing. Cool. Yeah, there's a note here to roll house moves. So please pop over to our new dice roller on dddice.com, which I don't know what the two D's are for. I think there's like an anime called like DXD or something. Maybe it's that. Um,
I'm picturing it like how Scooby and Shaggy say "Ghost."
Nice.
Yeah.
your house
I'm feeling like he
moves.
just added more D's at the beginning until he found a domain name that was available.
Yeah, just roll plus your whiz stat. WIS is not WHIZZ, but whiz. And yeah, whiz sounds worse. So whiz, I'm going with whiz. And then there is a place on the character keeper where you can mark your hold. You will replace any previous hold, like if you had hold left over from last. Sorry, that's it's not my problem. That's your problem.
Is there a place in here to label the roles?
That is a great question. I don't know of a way to label the roles.
Okay.
Nice. Very nice roll. Excellent. So, who is gathered around Ulrich? Um, hey, so what were you doing in your room that when the ship was dropped out of hyperspace, when people were calling back and forth on comms about, hey, there's some weird what oh we're going over to this other ship, then there was an order from Lady Valara Nova to move the knight errant to slam into this other ship. There was a frantic call from the co-pilot of your ship whose name is uh Jais Gatilla, who is the co-pilot and a member of House Barnaba. She said, "Hey, there are some weird slugs coming over here. What should I do?" And then there was an explosion, and now everyone's back on the ship. So what does Ulrich? What do we see that Ulrich was up to that engrossed or occupied him during that?
I This sounds so bad. Um, I think he was in the process of writing out his weekly letter to High Lady Varen Arabella, to his fiance, and
Hold on.
you
Wait.
know,
I'm sorry. Kate, I think that we changed that.
did we retcon that? And I
We
forgot.
did. Yeah, we did. I'm sorry. I think that's like a little too. Or and is everyone like? Or is it just me? Like, if everyone's on board with that, then. But I thought that during our
We might
session
have, and
zero,
in the time between now and then, I might have forgotten.
just
Because
cool. We talked about a few things, and we're back together on the same page. Sorry for that. So, Kay, what was Ulrich up to during the events of previous session?
Yeah.
I think you'd
So
said he was writing a letter.
yeah, he was writing a letter to his maybe fiance, uh, who he is a suitor for, the High Lady Baron Arabella. He does that, once a week. And he kind of heard about what was going on in the call, but he's like, well, we're not dealing with people, and that's kind of what I'm good at. So there's really no reason for me to come out here and do anything and risk harm and things like that. It's just not my role on the ship.
Cool. So we hard frame to the two figures in carbonite. Um, Ulrich, you can come be done with your letter at
Yeah.
any point you wish. Who is standing over these two slabs of carbonite that seem to have two people inside.
Rix is.
Yeah, Mixon would be there too. Maxon.
Hmm. Yeah. Dot. It would be nearby as well.
See if they have any bounties on them.
Yes.
Mm.
When you look up the names of Trid and Mirabelle Paddocks, they have extremely high bounties on them.
Ooh.
Are these children?
They are. Trid appears to be 8 years old. Mirabelle, according to the records, 8 years old. Mirabelle, 10. And Maxon, the bounties were originally placed by the Empire, but they are now also owned by House Massetti.
Well, someone's already done the hard part for us.
Exactly. You just got to turn them in.
And if I'm not mistaken, didn't we find out last session that these two kids are from what house?
Pelagia. This whole, the Scion, which was the ship. I'll drop the pic because I know Kay hasn't had a chance to see it. But the Nebula Scion was a House Pelagia ship that was trying to escape during the Great Jedi Purge.
So those people are Pelagian? Is that what we're
Yes.
using for the name?
Trid and Mirabelle are the children of Lord Theos Paddocks of House Pelagia.
Well, we're definitely not turning in that bounty.
What do you mean we're not? I mean,
So
Why do
we
they
could-
want the children is the question that is at the top of my mind.
Since someone else wants them, Pelagia can pay for them. Might not get the full bounty, but we'll get something.
I'm sure whatever price is being offered for a bounty, surely Lord Paddocks would pay handsomely more.
Why don't you talk to Lord Pax about that?
you're both of House Pelagio, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm not just like, let's turn him in.
As you guys are
but
working
a
over
low die.
this, Rix, you hear from the front of the ship as Rich now goes over to the command deck. Boy, that's highfalutin terminology. Jice. Hey, Cap. We're being hailed.
Ooh. I'll head up to the command deck to see who's calling it.
Sweet. So you head up to the command deck, and you see that there is. Rich is trying to remember what the symbol of this house looks like. So I'll go grab my little cheat sheet here. Huh. Hard to describe. It looks like a planet with some like green smoke from beneath and a bunch of wild either tentacles or ribbons. Is the symbol that you see on the medium class gunship. It is of House Calypsa. Reminder, when you guys dropped out of hyperspace, this asteroid field, it's in the Calypsa border. And yeah, you're being hailed by this medium class gunship.
Yeah,
what do you wish to
I'll
do?
return the yeah, I'll return it.
Sweet. So when you guys establish connection, you hear, "Greetings. I am Sir Udu. What are you doing in Calypso borders?"
Oh, my name's Rix Barrand, and I our ship experienced a malfunction and we dropped out of hyperspace, not really knowing where we were.
What is the
Um,
other ship that you have in tow?
Yeah, once we came out of hyperspace, we found another
Prepare
ship
to
in
be
distress.
boarded.
Wait, we found another ship in distress. As soon as we can get our repairs done, we'll be leaving.
It sounds like you're trying to charm an NPC.
Yeah,
'Cause he
Rick,
was-
may I?
Okay, hold on. Let's see.
Oh, is Ulrich now appearing at the command deck to offer some
Yeah,
assistance?
Ulrich heard talk of things like that, especially Kadrian. It was like, oh, is Kadrian raging? I was like, oh, those fucking, I gotta
I'm an
get myself in there.
NPC.
But also, I could do my advisor move.
You cool. Hey, Mark, Maxon. When has Maxon clashed against Udu the Unstoppable?
Ooh. So who do we know anything about him yet?
Uh, you know as much as you want to know. He is a
Hmm.
knight, an experienced warrior with numerous dueling victories.
Hmm.
He also is currently like on patrol, checking. He's on a pretty nasty gunship. So,
I think we've crossed past paths once or twice. And I think he has always I think like when we've come at cross purposes, I think he's tried to engage me in a duel, and I have accepted the duel and then just fought dirty. And he hates it. He hates me, I think.
oh,
So,
yeah. There's a question. Massetti is enemy. Melifon is ally. Let's see. I tried to. Did I just remove? I think I've updated the house information.
Yeah, because it looks like it's changed from last time a little
It
bit. I
is
remember.
updated, but it also has that you guys were because you talked about becoming closer to Calypso. So you're historically loyal to Melantha, but since the Empire has fallen, Barnaba is becoming closer to Calypso. And Massetti is an enemy for generations, but you never
Yes,
directly confront those guys.
directly. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Thank you. So, and Calypso, this is a Calypso ship.
This is a Calypso ship. You are in Calypso territory.
You're in Calypso territory. Okay, thank
okay.
you.
Also, tell me the relationship between Calypso and Barnaba.
Kay, did you want to answer that one?
Yeah, so they have been coming closer. I think as Calypso has kind of been rising as a financial powerhouse, I believe, if I remember correctly. Um, they have started to become maybe interested in some of the more extravagant things, and House Barnaba is always looking for someone to play and do extravagant things with and have a good time.
Nice. I like that.
Awesome. So since Ulrich is there on the bridge, I step over. There's a little hologram, so I step over so the hologram shows both of us, and I tell this gentleman, the Unstoppable, that I'm on a diplomatic mission, and the attaché that I have with us would be very unhappy. House Barnaba would definitely be displeased with Calypso if there were any issues that ended up happening here.
Nice. You're taking a like superior tone with Ulrich
I'm
behind you. That is
I'm trying to
delicious.
hit con artist, one of my
Ooh.
moves, which is whenever you attempt to convince someone you are more powerful than you truly are, roll charisma.
All right.
So,
Roll plus cha on our brand new D dice
Da-da-da-da-da.
room.
Mm.
and Kay, you mentioned you were going to aid.
Yeah, I was gonna aid.
That's why I kind of pulled you in so that you're on screen. Let's roll that. Okay, that is an 8.
Okay.
Happy with an 8? Um,
On a 7 to
yeah.
9, you're successful, but the GM will tell you one of the following has happened. You have to make a whole string of lies, which is dangerously flimsy as a result. The person you hoodwinked is still suspicious of you. Your lie is believed, but it attracts unwanted attention. Ooh, the GM chooses that one. I like that. So, yeah, I like the idea that so you have an important noble aboard and you have to convey them somewhere. He buys it. Maybe Ulrich's influence here, seeing Ulrich in the picture, gives him, he instantly recognizes you, Ulrich.
Yes.
Uh, but then he asks a few questions. Who is this the personage? Sir Ulrich Corbinian is the personage you are ferrying on this ship of yours?
Of course. Um,
Lord, or are we changing to sir from Lord, or are we keeping Lord? Because that was
No,
something.
he's calling you sir as an insult. He's being a
Yeah, okay,
dick.
so that's what I thought. Okay, just double checking
Okay,
before
thank
I
you
was
for picking
anything.
up on what I'm putting
Um,
down.
okay, and so yeah, I think if I'm assuming I can hear that, I'll step into frame. Uh, Lord Ulrich Corbinian, and it's been a moment, but it's good to see you. Although I wish we were indulging ourselves in something a little nicer than just ship talk across hollows. Does there seem to be an issue? We're just passing through. We had a small moment.
How did you end up here?
there was a malfunction in our ship. Um, if you'd like to aid in the repair, um, I can have my engineers send you a list of parts that are needed.
Yes,
No.
we are so connected. Perhaps you could be helping us. And I do have a move called connections. When you put out the word that you need access to something or someone, roll charisma.
Oh, roll charisma. Let's see if you could cajole this very unhappy individual into helping out. Boy, he's not going to be happy about that
Z
at all.
D20 plus 2, if I'm correct, right? That's the roll.
2d6
Oh,
uh
2d6 plus 2. Okay.
plus 2 for your cha. Yes.
Okay.
And then
Sorry, I
I
was
can aid.
You can if you tell me how.
Um, I think I put a message out on, I type on my pad so that Dodd will send a list of, requested repairs. In this list of requires, I'm of parts that we need. I specifically include power so that we can get our power back up and the other ship's power back up. So this is a demand. So it looks like, of course the Royals always demand stuff.
Keeping that superior tone.
hmm
Love it. Let's see how the way the aid works here is when you describe how you will, the GM picks one, accomplish more, gain advantage on their roll. I think I will go gain advantage. So you gain advantage on this roll, Ulrich. You'll roll 3d6 and take the best two.
So do I just highlight the advantage and it'll do it, or do I need to hit 3d6?
You need to hit 3d6.
Okay, perfect.
And then click advantage and
Then
then
roll.
roll.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it
Okay.
will count the two highest.
11.
Wow. That's awesome. You guys pull it off. So on connections with a 10 plus, choose one. Do you see the options?
I don't see the.
Oh,
Oh, there.
it costs a lot
Um,
of money. It will take a while before you get any results. You will need to go out of your way to get it. You will owe someone a favor for this. You get to choose.
is it an open-ended favor, or can I?
I think you specifically said, help me with my ship that needs repairs.
Yeah. I like the idea of Ulrich has to go out of his way to do something to get it. If that is an okay interpretation. Like maybe he's going to request something of Ulrich, but
Oh, so then it sounds like you're more going along the you'll owe someone a favor for this because
I
he has to
get.
go
Yeah,
out
I
of.
get. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. That's very. Oh yeah, to get it versus. Yeah. 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 No. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I'll owe him a favor
Okay.
between allies and such.
He goes off screen. Like he turns the video off.
Do we hear like the muffled them talking, but like they're far enough away from the microphone that we can't hear it fully?
Yeah, yeah. And then he doesn't come back on video, but says, "I'll send a small team your way." Uh,
Thank you so much. And again, I look forward to seeing you soon.
here's Udu's ship.
Ooh.
Will That is what she looks like. She is
Cool.
festooned with weapons and oh,
Oh, it's a badass shit.
it's not made for playing around. So yeah. So hey, Dodd, Maxon, Valara, you got these two encased in carbonite. There's some chitter chatter that happened up front. Evidently, there is a House Calypso noble who is just kind of arrived out of nowhere and is pestering your folks. You recognize the name Maxon. You guys hear all of that you want. Uh, Sending some engineers aboard, and I'm curious what you wish to do before these this small. It's going to be like a little craft.
Mm.
Like,
I'm
Did we choose smuggling compartments, Rick?
Don't believe we did.
Oh,
Did I get to make a choice that I haven't made yet? Because I was not here when we did that.
no,
Nope.
I think Rick chose everything for the
yeah,
ship.
it was
And it was just
Okay.
pretty random, but yeah.
I think we need to shove these carbonite
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
in one of
Yeah.
the staterooms that
We'll
they should
throw
not
them
go
somewhere.
into.
I mean, they can put him in my stateroom. That's fine.
Are you also going to stay in there?
I'm gonna hang outside.
Uh, Perhaps we should put someone in there to keep the room as is. And he'll turn and he'll look to where's our NPCs? Jais and say, Jais, could you do me a favor and babysit the young royals while we have others aboard?
I mean, no one's getting into my room without going through me. So,
Well, you know, Jais, it's a co-pilot. It's not like they're
I mean, I'm
getting
not worried about him. I don't think the kids are waking
her.
up. So her, I'm not worried about her. I don't think the kids are waking up. But if she wants to hang out and babysit, be my guest.
Jice will lean in Ulrich to speak, assuming Maxon doesn't have a hyper acute hearing as a setting on his helmet. Maybe he does. That's up to Mark. She leans in and says, Maxon looked up these two on the bounty hunter board.
Yes.
I don't trust him.
That's why I'm putting you in his room with them. He won't be there. You will be. And if you, well, you know, you'll just be sitting, idling away the time, waiting for our guests to be gone, of course.
And she reaches up a hand and just like, puts it on your shoulder and just trails it down for a second. It's affectionate. I guess we will play some sabacc.
Valara's going to meet the engineers at the airlock.
Yeah, but Ulrich was planning
Sorry,
to be.
if that scene was done. Sorry, I
Yeah,
jumped
it's
in
done.
there.
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
we're good. Yeah. Mhm.
Uh, and yeah, always sunny in Philadelphia. She's going to prefer an optical pat down. Make sure that they're not, bringing any weapons on board.
Optical pot down so you're not actually. That's
Well,
great.
I know. I think I do kind of get up in their business and make sure that these technicians are not, you know,
It's House
armed.
Calypso. Don't worry about it. We're good.
You will vouch for them and supervise their work done.
I'll supervise their work.
Hmm.
She says very specifically about the not vouching for the part. I'm not worried because they're Calypso, but if they're envoys of Udu the Unstoppable, well, he's earned that epithet. If he wants to take our ship, he would just take it. It would not be a fight. It is in our best interest to look small, helpless, and not exciting, which perhaps for the Knight Insurgent that would be simple enough, but the our new acquired ship might look like too much of a tasty prize to him. I'm not sure. We can
All
hide
right.
these carbonite children, but the Nebula Scion is not something we can hide.
Oh, are we having to repair both ships?
Yes.
That's is
The,
that what risk asked for? Okay, you guys
Oh
rolled
I
boy.
well.
mean, the
We
other
owe.
ship is only down power as far as we know. So I think that's why I specifically asked for power banks is so we could get
Yeah.
ours up and theirs. Yeah.
Okay. I will. If you stand for them, Dodd, then I will allow them to enter.
The airlock cycles open, and um, the first of the engineers is one of the smoke touched. His name is Jalel. Dodd, he knows you. Um, what is the little nickname that he calls you?
Oh gosh, I don't know exactly what it was. You'll have to help me out with the Star Warsification of it, but like it would be something like Little Mouse or something like that. Some kind
Ooh,
of
we could just go mouse. Womprat's a little too much, so I like little mouse.
yeah, Womp Rant's a little too negative. It's more like a cute little thing that pops up everywhere and gets in the way. So I think he'd be like, "Oh, well, not much of a surprise that the little mouse is here."
Mouse droid.
Oh, it's the mouse
The mouse
droid.
droid. Yeah, that works out well. And
He comes over like he steps in and just walks past everybody else, comes up and like scruffs your hair a little bit. What? I didn't know you were on this ship. I might have told Udi not to fire you into a bunch of atoms.
or you might have told him too. You're capricious like that.
What? He no, he is smoke touched. You could see that his eyes give off a faint amber, like yellowish glow, not amber, but yellowish glow.
Mhm.
It is a effect of people who have lived on Calypso Prime and have been exposed too much to above ground. So
Well, I'm glad that you're here. It tells us that the repairs will be done effectively, if not, well, let's just say effectively.
let us say effectively, I'm about to be hurt. Remember your place, little mouse. Show me where it's broken that you couldn't fix. Poor little fringer.
And I think TA gets upset at that. There's
And Jalil will just like finger a restraining bolt, but just like a gentle threat of like, I'll slap a restraining bolt on your fucking droid. As he heads back towards the engine to start figuring out how you lost power, and then the gonk droid comes in, bonk, and it has a restraining bolt, and it's following him because I know Keith loves gonk droids. So,
yeah, woo, gog, gog, gog.
and also they're a power droid, so it kind of makes
Yeah,
sense.
it makes perfect sense. That's what Rick's
Gonk,
requested.
gonk. And it's following him. And I think Jalel has set up a tray on top of the skunk droid, and it has a few affixed, like magnetized on the bottom drinks, intoxicants, because he likes to drink while he works. So he and the engineering team will get to work. Um, I'm Rix. What are you? You're a captain. What are you doing? As these guys just come in on your ship and are looking around.
So I think I'm there to greet them. Where the umbilical cord, one of the door cycles. But since Valara is there, I know that Valara is a good bodyguard and will take care of things. So I go back to the bridge because no one else is there because the co-pilot is off in Maxon's quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make sure that, Udu's ship doesn't make any threatening gestures. Um, I'm also going to drift. I think we're drifting a little bit. I'm going to angle it so that we are Udu's ship is between us and that asteroid belt that has the worms in it.
So you're
You
trying to
know,
put Udu in the potential line of fire for that.
or just you know, if there's another attack, it'll hit him first and not us. Yeah,
Got it. Totally
just
got
kind of
it.
floating along, all casual like.
Sweet. That sounds delightful.
Did
Good. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Did Udo cut the comms after when he sent people open over?
He's not chatting with you, and he didn't come over himself.
Okay, all right. Never mind.
you could reach out to him, I'm sure.
Yeah, but what are the IK don't know this, but Ulrich Corbinian would certainly know. What is the safety of talking between comms like this, of it being,
Oh,
compromised?
it's pretty well established that there are different comm types that have a certain amount of security that's difficult to broadcast. That there are encoded signals. So you could say, switch to whatever, and then the other person could go, and it would be a relatively safe conversation.
Okay, yeah, I think I would
It would take a fringer to break it.
okay, yeah, so I think I would go off to a side as the engineers are doing dirty work, and I via a personal, perhaps, device, reach out to Udu from the connection that I learned the information of from our main deck.
Nice. I like that. Cool. So you're reaching out to Udu. What is the first thing that you say to try to get him to respond to you?
Does he have, really quick, sorry, I'm just bouncing between tabs because I'm trying to see if Udu has is it like, is it proper to refer to people by surnames here, or for Udu, or no, he's just Udu the Unstoppable. So it
You
just,
can call him Sir Udu. He is just a knight.
yeah, Knight Udu the Unstoppable. I thought while we're at an impasse here and as our houses are coming closer to allyship, perhaps we should speak for a moment, just you and I.
I will entreaty with you, Lord. What is it that you want?
Well, I think you and I are both upstanding members of our house who are looking to better it and keep ourselves abreast of things. And I'll be open with you and be frank. I want to ask a question. And I want to do charming and open.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, how can I get you to undermine Freda?
Whoa. Oh man, is it just a question or is that a roll? I'll look at
Uh,
charming and open.
it
I don't
just
know it
says
off the
they
head.
must answer truthfully, and then they may ask you a question. I may lie, but if you do, you can never use this move on that person again.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
So
How can I get
they
you?
just have to, yeah. I think I just ask and they must ha answer truthfully. Then they get to ask me a question from the list. And if I tell the truth, we're all good. But if I lie, I can't use charming and open on them again.
Okay. You do not understand, Lord. Freda and I owe her. I would have to betray her. I do not want to betray her. That said, she has been an incredible pirate hunter, and our borders would be weaker without her. If
Yes, this is really for the betterment of Calypso. They'd be bereft without her. They need the dynamic duo, the Unstoppable and the Pirate Hunter.
hmm, if you could speak to her on my behalf, I do not wish to earn her enmity, if you understand.
Mhm. So if I could speak to Freda, and for on your behalf, are you talking about romantic interests or simply partnering up in battle, or what do you want me to do?
Who do you serve, Lord Ulrich?
I serve House Barnaba. And this, I think this is truthfully like what he believes. Like he thinks he serves his house as best as he can.
I know I am not the right match for her, so I would not ask you for that.
But do you want it?
Who would not? Have you not met her? There's a reason that she would beat you in a fair competition for Lady Arabella's heart.
Hmm.
But nothing in the houses is fair.
This is true. So you just want me to speak with her and give good favor, try to get her to favor you a little bit more?
Yes,
And if I
because
do
I will
that,
be betraying her.
hmm, you're not, I mean, betraying her is such a harsh word. You're helping her realize it's just not in her best interest to continue to try to pursue suit on Lady Baron Arabella, the High Lady Baron Arabella.
As you say.
Well, I think this shall be fruitful. Do you have any idea where she's about as of lately?
Yes, she scouts. Would they use compass directions in the galaxy that's constantly moving? I guess, maybe. She's not far from here. To the west of Batolio Natolio, there are pirates,
Hmm.
free world pirates, wish to encroach upon Calypso territory. That's what I thought you were at first.
Oh, never. We are allies of Calypso, as you know.
Where did this ship of House Pelagia, where did you pull that from?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I was in my rooms and I was doing some writing while they handled the situation with the ship.
Hmm,
I simply
interesting.
heard your tone and came out upon hearing your sonorous voice and thought it'd be best if I was part of that engagement, given our history.
Indeed. We'll cut away from
Mm.
that to Maxon's quarters. Maxon, what trophies from previous hunts might you have
Hmm.
in your quarters?
Um, I don't think he keeps a lot of trophies. Credits are what he likes. I think he does have one, though, and it is. Hmm. I think it's a. I think it's just like an ordinary looking blaster that is inoperable.
So, imagine quarters. Well, hey, we've got a ship, Rich. Let's just
Yeah.
look. So it's pretty tight in here, right?
Hmm.
Who's sitting on the bed?
Well, I'm hanging out by the door to
Okay.
make sure no one tries to come in.
And then you probably like in that little bit of floor space, put the
Yeah,
two carbonate.
slide him in.
Yeah. Okay. So she's probably seated on the bed. She's got a Savak deck, and she's kind of shuffling the cards. She deals it out to offer you a possibility of playing a hand, and
Sure.
then she reaches up and grabs that blaster. Just grabs it. That's she's. I'm pretty sure Dodd could fix this for you. Not that you need another gun.
It's not mine.
Oh, who's this? It
Someone who doesn't need it anymore.
then isn't it by all rights yours? Why do you say it's still theirs? They don't need it.
No, they don't. I keep it to remember them by.
Oh, do tell. Is this some hunt that you fell in love with?
This was someone who was difficult quarry, who I caught several times and they escaped several times. They gave me this with that. They left me for
Hmm.
dead. But in the end, I never collected. They found their own end.
And she's looking over the gun as you tell the story. She looks up at your face when you point out the scar. She seems intrigued, fascinated, even. And then you hear you hear a voice. Hello? And when you look around, you there's no one else in the room besides Jice and you.
Is it a child's voice?
It is. Yeah, it sounds like a child's voice. Yeah,
I
interesting.
check the settings on the carbonite freezer things and make sure they're all set correctly and secure.
They both individuals appear to be in hibernation. They are both alive.
Hmm. Ask Rix if they heard it as well. Did you hear someone calling hello?
No?
Hmm.
What? Are you hearing voices now, Maxon? Maybe it's in your helmet. She flips
Maybe.
it like three high and makes a pretty good play and laughs and then pulls up the cards and deals another hand. Hearing things. Oh man, that's not good for somebody in your line of work.
I'm sure it was nothing.
Hello? Can you hear me?
If I just think yes,
Where am I? Who are you?
who are you?
The matron said not to say. Who are you?
I'm watching over you.
Good. I
Does it sound like
sense.
the older child or the younger child? Or
It's not, yeah,
hard
you
to
don't
tell.
hear like tone of voice.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. However, perhaps you could make a roll to
Hey,
determine such a
maybe I
thing.
could. I could.
Why
Uh,
don't you is it seek insight, maybe? That's more like a
Seek insight.
situational.
I think a seek
Or is it?
insight. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There we
It's not something I'd
go.
be knowing about.
Yeah, let's do
Um,
it.
Ooh, let's roll plus whiz, which is plus one, I think. Yeah, got some wisdom on me. 2d6 plus one. 11.
Wow. You could ask three questions from the list.
Um, what here is not what it appears to be.
Oh, what a great choice for a question, huh? All right. So, what here is not as it appears to be. You wish to understand who it is, and you believe it is. You somehow capture the image of a young boy. You
What are
believe
the
that this is Trid
trade? Yeah,
Paddocks.
trade. Um, what should I be on the lookout for?
Well, if Trid Paddocks can talk in your head, and Trid Paddocks was sent away during the Great Jedi Purge,
Mm-hmm.
dot, dot, dot.
Yep. And what is about to happen?
He's going to reach out to other people if you don't keep his attention.
Yep, I think I'm going to do that. Um, yeah. Um, Trid. I appreciate you reaching out to me. However, to keep you safe, it might be wise to only speak to me, not others. Do you trust me?
Oh, you're definitely trying to charm an NPC. I'll give you a +1 with acting on the answers of your
Cool.
knowing things.
Am I
Oh
present?
no, gain advantage on your next move that acts on the answer. Sorry, gain advantage.
So it's 3d6.
Plus your lovely truce. I believe that was your dump stat with a
It
-1.
was. But advantage, I'll take it. That's a 5.
You feel like a just the lightest bit of pressure, like a headache coming on.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my sister?
Beside you. You're both safe. We're taking you home.
You had better, Maxon.
You've been away for quite a long time. There was an accident, but we've recovered you, and you're safe now.
I remember. So many people died for us. Is my father alive?
Is he?
Yeah, he's the High Lord of House
Oh,
Pelagia.
yeah. He is, and in fact, that's where we are going, or will be going.
Free me from this hibernation, Maxon.
It is not safe to do so right now, but I will as soon as it is. You have my word.
You feel the pressure just a little bit more, like your eye twitches. I will wait, but I am impatient.
Can you see through my eyes or hear or only speak to me?
There's a moment and you feel just like a little bit of connection, like you just surprised him with that question. I can see through your eyes, Maxon.
You may do so as long as you wish. And if I am being untrue, I I trust that you will take action.
Please roll a d4.
Ooh, a D4.
Uh-huh.
Um, a 3.
Awesome. You lose 3 hit points from the
Ooh,
constant annoying pain of him riding your eyes.
amazing.
When you would, if you ever eject him from that, or if he leaves of his own volition, you get those 3 hit points back.
Great.
Yeah, that's fine. Sweet.
And I will fix my gaze on Rick's, and I think, I think, keep an eye on that one as well. Or Jess.
Sorry. Greg's just put a thing in the chat. Take 3 psychic damage for children and their relentless questions. I love it. Cool. I think this is a good point for us to take our mid-game bio break, so let's do that. Rick's, these engineers came on board. They are working primarily to fix your ship because that's where people are, unless you try to direct them otherwise. Um, and your co-pilot's gone. So what are you doing?
I'm planning on as soon as our ship is up and they have the hyperdrive repaired. We have an umbilical over to the other ship, and I think what I'll do is as soon as we have enough power, I'll start feeding that system power, and I'll see about sending Dodd over there um to see what repairs are needed over on that side.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Uh, Dodd, like, how much are you trying to help versus just letting sorry, he is not a noble, by the way. Jalel. He letting Jalel, and he seems to be the head engineer. He's like a they call him chief. Um, how much are you trying to direct things versus just letting him take over?
I mean, I think I know him well enough that I know he knows what he's doing. So like once I get him set up, I think I would probably go to find Rex and just strategize a little bit with like I don't know, maybe I Keith am too concerned about this, but like that ship seems like a big red flag that's floating out there that like the Calypso folks are going to want to take, even though, if I understand correctly, it's ours because we found it, right? It's legitimate salvage.
Right. Yeah.
I think
Um,
I think it's one of those general rules of the land. You find a ship, you can claim salvage, but it's also in their territory, so they may have some sway to either make it uncomfortable or try to just be asshole nobles
And
and
I
say
I
no.
lean over to Dodd and I say, we have two members of Pelagia, you know, on board. I mean, I think that we have claim on this ship, not just as a salvage, but also as, the rightful owners.
so let me follow through the line of own. This was the Pelagia people fleeing the Maquette.
House
Forget how
Massetti
it's
and the Empire,
said. Right.
20 years
Okay.
ago.
But they ended up in this section that used to be somebody else's before Calypso bought it.
Used to be Pelagia's
Okay, so it used to be
before.
okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Does that help?
Yes. Um, be that as it may, Rix, they do call him the Unstoppable for a good reason. We have we have claim, but we are but well, I don't know how many we are actually. I was going to say five, but five PCs and various amounts of NPCs here against one of the noble houses if they decide it's something that they want to try uh, to contest. I just know that you always think on several levels at once, and I didn't know if you had anything in your back pocket for making sure that this goes the way we want it.
Right. If Udu wanted our ship or that ship, we aren't stopping him. But right
No.
now, the power of House Barnaba and Pelagia would. So that's all we really have to bank on. And maybe there's a couple of tricks up my sleeve if there's any issues. We might be able to find some allies.
Big smile at tricks up the sleeve. That's why we come to Rick's is for the tricks up the sleeve. Uh, and I think you get the impression that Dot is also a little bit worried about this because of what she thinks as her tenuous connection to Calypso, and is like knows that there's already some feeling I think from Ulrich of like, am I on the inside trying to get I forget her name. I want to say Freda. Uh, is that's what it is? The pirate catcher. Yeah, get her in the good graces of the High Lady rather than Ulrich. So it's like this is pulling on me in another direction, and I'm not really comfortable. I'm with you guys, okay? Just so you know.
So you're siding with us and not with Udu. Is that right?
I mean, are you going to come out and straight up ask that?
I wouldn't say that. What I would say is, what's your relationship with Udu and um House Calypso? Are you both in high favor?
Little bit of a guffaw. He is in high favor, and I am, uh, the phrase I like to use is well tolerated. I'm an independent contractor, which is not true, but that's Dodd's phrase. I'm an independent contractor that gets along with them quite well. They are my temporary home. Whether or not you know that's not true, up to you.
And um, what pull do you have with Udo to make sure that, you know, a house war doesn't start?
What pull do I have with Udo? Uh, Next to none,
Okay.
Rix. If he uh he has the leverage in this relationship.
Okay.
That's why we had to ask about tricks up the sleeve. And then a TA gives you a little beep boop and hops up on one foot and hops up on the other foot. Also excited for tricks up the sleeve. But if you want me to, I can head over to the Scion and see how things look over there. Will they fix up the insurgent?
I'll go with you. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the Scion is not a warship. It doesn't really have that many weapons, correct?
It is not a warship. It does not have many weapons.
Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can't um when we go up, we'll power it up minimally. We'll take a look through all of its systems. But maybe that's the distraction we need to either, if Udo causes a problem, fire upon him, and then head off into the asteroid belt remotely. So I'm going to make sure they see Dodd and I go over. Actually, they're going to make sure that the um, Udo's people see Rix goes over there. I don't care if they see Dodd or not. But I make it obvious I'm going over there, but I don't make it obvious whenever I come back.
Cool. So we're clear. Like Rix's plan might be leaving the knight errant behind, or the knight insurgent behind, and just escaping on the Nebula Scion.
Um, Let me make sure I've got the names right. Um, no, Rick's plan is to use the Scion as a distraction while the Night Insurgent gets away.
Ah, okay.
So the basically that ship, the Scion ship, we've got the important cargo off of it. Um it can be used and destroyed. So if Udo goes after it, you know, then that's fine.
Cool.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and rig up something so we can remote, you know, blast a couple of times and then head off into the asteroid field. That might give the Night Insurgent a chance to get away.
Cool. Okay. That sounds like a fun little escape. I'm interested in getting to that, but I'm curious as Rix and Dodd are scheming. Ulrich is having secret conversations with Udo. Maxon's uh, talking to things in his head and playing Sabak. What is Valara up to?
Uh, Supervising these technicians, you know, Dodd vouched for them, but trust but verify. You know, they're in the engine rooms. They're not trying to get to other parts of the ship.
They are not trying to get into other parts of the ship. You can tell from their attitude. There are three of them. Like they feel they have the command of the ship from here, right? They can operate any of the systems. You catch not Jalel, but one of his underlings. She is accessing the systems. And it looks like she might be trying to pull some information. What do you do?
Oh, uh, hmm. Charm an NPC. You know what? I like barking orders.
You're good at barking orders.
And what's the worst could happen? They could attack me. Um, I think maybe don't bark orders first, but I ask her to step away from the console.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's maybe she's gone up to, and she rattles off a bunch of legitimate sounding reasons that she is checking your systems, but you see through that. She has she is either curious or has been ordered to gather information on this ship.
Hmm. Okay. Let's see. Trying to think what leverage I have with her. Um,
She is not a noble.
right. I'm gonna use my house move. Um, uh, I know the House Calypso does not hold to the older ways as we do in Pelagia. Um, but we have always held in Pelagia that the knowledge aboard a ship is as important as its cargo. And those who would take the knowledge from the ship and the knowledge of its ways, well, they were doomed to wander the stars houseless. Maybe that leads into a charm roll of, hey,
Interesting.
you're on my ship,
Hmm.
and you should follow my rules.
I like it. Charm.
Okay. That's plus charisma, which I'm probably terrible at. Hey, no, I'm good at. Okay.
I mean, yeah, come on. If you're basically a paladin, you better have a high charisma.
I'm not that great at. 8. Um,
Okay. On 7 to 9, they reveal something you do to convince them, though it'll be costly, tricky, or distasteful.
hmm.
So let us name this woman.
Is there an ancient Calypsan tradition as well?
Ooh, well, I could just look and see if negotiate, put away, light and dark. So we're going to call her Katrin. I don't have a picture for Katrin, but uh, Katrin.
Uh,
Hmm?
can
What?
I can I line that line? Can I put a line on that name as my sister's name? Or
Oh,
yeah, it's too close to my sister's name. It's all good.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Let me remove that from my names and so I don't accidentally get that again. Bex, does that work?
Beck sounds good.
Okay. Cool. Bex will she'll say, "Lady, I've been ordered to find out what you're doing here. I would get in trouble if I ignore that, unless I was ordered otherwise." So what she's saying is,
It's you have
I
to.
love your
I have.
traditions, but I'm screwed unless you call me out and tell me not to do this. Is that fair?
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's that. but you were sent here to find out what we were doing. Let me take you there. And I take her to our little whatever Dodd was messing with, right? The little hyperspace module that failed.
Mm-hmm.
Dodd believes this to be an accident, but I do not. I do not believe her. If you are truly seeking why we are here, this is where your answer lies. We are not fooling you. Our hyperspace system failed and we ended up here. But I believe it was sabotage.
I'll take a look, my lady. And then she'll start digging into the hyperspace module. And we'll go ahead. If you remember, I had that clock. And because she's specifically looking at that piece, that'll be a third tick on the repair Knight Insurgent. We cut over to Rix and Dodd. The two of you have entered the Nebula Scion, the House Pelagia ship that you had discovered in the asteroid field. What's the plan here? Trying to spin this thing up, get it functional enough to be a good distraction? What do you want to do?
Yeah. Um, I don't know if Dodd has anything, but I have a trick to the trade, which is when you pickpockets, conceal a small item, or disable security systems, you can do this, and you do it, or the GM offers you options that are an issue. Um, so that's what I'd like to do is disable security systems so that we can remote this ship.
Ooh, that sounds fun. Gonna try to remote pilot the ship, and once it has uh enough batteries, then you got it. Oh, that's neat.
Dodd, did you have any plans?
I'm happy to help.
Um, do we want to check out the rest of the ship and make sure there's nothing else here? It's a Pelagia ship. I don't know that we care.
I mean, there might be some nice loot lying around if it doesn't take too long to poke around and see what we can find.
Let's do that on the way out.
All
See if
right,
we have enough time. Awesome. So I'll roll tricks of the trade.
and I'll throw you an assist.
Whoops. Clicked. So I clicked the dice, and I clicked the dice again, and it rolled. Okay. So I think
Ugh.
that if you throw me an assist, Rich, you need to tell me you pick one of those things.
If you get an
Right
assist,
now,
I'll let you roll a third die and roll as if you have advantage, which you
okay.
really need.
I think that's a 7.
A 5 and a 1
So
plus your +1. Yeah, you rolled two different dice. Okay. Oh,
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yep. Sorry, I missed. I
But
thought.
I can. I mean, we don't have to negotiate that after the roll. But yeah, I'll roll an additional d6.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a 6.
6 and a 5 went from a middling success to a full success.
Yeah. So for tricks of the trade, and this is rolling dex, so it's +2, and this is you just do it no problem.
Okay. You do it no problem. So you now have taken down the security systems on the Nebula Scion so that you could remote in and operate this ship as if it were a droid or yeah, you can run
Yeah,
it
I think on the
remotely.
way over, by the way, I kind of tapped on the grunt just for flavor. I tapped on the grunt droid to see what its power level was and how our transfer to the Knight Insurgent was. And then I kind of ushered it over, and it trails behind us through the hatch, um, with Dodd and I going ahead, and then we plug it in on the other side so it gets a little bit of power too.
Good. Okay. So that sounds like you are making sure that the ship, the Nebula Scion, has at least enough power to move to be an effective distraction if you need it. Let's swing back to Ulrich. You've made an agreement with Udu, the Unstoppable, that he will not impair your progress or your desire to be wed to Lady Arabella, in exchange, you'll speak well of him to Fretta.
He is specifically supposed to undermine Freda's ability to do that.
He will work to do that.
Yeah.
And on the other
You know,
side, while he's betraying her, you're going to sing his praises, or so you have agreed.
yes, I will speak of how wonderful and helpful he was to both House Barnaba, but also House Pelagia.
Nice. And so you guys are you've had a conversation. Maybe you're talking a little politics, and then there's a pause, and he says, "Hmm, you have among your crew a bounty hunter by the name of Maxon.
I do, yes. It's always good to have muscle about.
I can provide you with muscle. I want you to hand him over, remand him to me. What will it cost?"
That is a high thing you're asking for, after we've only just struck our first bargain and have yet to actually finish it to completion.
I think he's not a noble. He's just a bounty hunter.
Yes, but he's been of use. Uh, well, how about this? It's not something I'm particularly interested in, I must admit, but maybe you can make me an enticing offer.
I will find a reason to duel Lord Alex Lemaire and defeat him.
And when you say defeat,
What would you like? Would you like for me to scar him, to dishonor him, or do you want him dead?
oh man, and I think there's like a moment where Ulrich freezes because like he kind of knows how to play the part a little bit, but he's never actually like made such a call himself. He's like, holy shit, am I about to be like kill this dude? But at the same time, I pretty sure I greatly admire Maxon. Um, and what if
What kind
I?
of bond do you have with Maxon? We'll
Yeah,
just
I'm
go
pretty
look at
sure.
that.
Yeah, my bond with Maxon is that I very much admire Maxon and their abilities,
Yeah,
if I
you
recall.
do. He amazes you with his
So
skill and talent.
yeah, I hope to learn from them. And I say, well, that is a very kind offer, but you see, Maxon has actually promised to tutor me in the blade so that I myself can take the credit of defeating Alex. So I don't know if that's a worthwhile. And he's lying, like he's not being truthful here. Like we have not made that promise. So I don't know if that is a worthwhile exchange. How about this? Why don't we complete our first deal? And if that goes well, we can revisit this and perhaps you can think of something more worthwhile.
Very well. But no, I have enmity with Maxon. He is a dishonorable cur, and your friendship with him makes me concerned for you, Lord Ulrich.
Well,
And when I am
information.
able, I will kill Maxon of my own volition.
See, I would, it would be ever so helpful of me then. Can you inform me of these concerns? What has Max undone? Perhaps I am
On two
unaware.
occasions, I have challenged Maxon, the cur, to a duel, and he has violated the honorable agreement that we nobles all hold dear in resolving duels. I am
That is quite
Udu the
shameful.
Unstoppable, but Maxon has defeated me through underhanded means, and that is why he's still alive.
Is that truly a defeat, though, on your part? It sounds like he cheated. You have maybe considered that more a draw, an unfair fight.
I agree with that, but if I wish to remain Udu the Unstoppable, he needs to be destroyed.
All right, well, That is to be considered. Why don't we finish our first deal, and then we can talk about a second deal?
Very well.
Can I do some kind of like where are my basic moves? Hold on. Right. Oh, come on, stop blacking out on me, Keeper. Come on. Seek insight. Because I basically wanna know if this is gonna mean that this guy's gonna, fudge over me on the first deal because I'm not willing to take his second deal.
Uh-huh. Yeah, this sounds great. You're studying a situation or person looking to me for insight. Roll plus whiz.
Come on, Keeper, stop blacking out on me. What is it? It's +1.
Your keeper is blacking. That's so weird.
Yeah, like for some reason it like keeps blacking out in certain sections, and like if I once I start moving around, it usually starts to open up a bit. But when I first click it, it's just like all black.
Is anyone else having problems with the character keeper? Okay. And we'll just keep an eye on it. That's very weird.
Very, very weird. Um, okay, right. So whiz, so that is +1, so that is 2d say +1. 10.
Ooh. You get 3 questions, I believe.
I believe I do. Let's go back, wiggle the mouse a little bit. Come on, show me seek insight. I want to see it. Let me see it, please. Please, please.
Do you want me to read the or drop them into the Zoom
Could
chat?
you,
Would that
yeah, I
help?
don't know. Yeah, drop into Zoom chat or read it either or. For some reason, like rows like 13 through 36 are just black for me. Oh, there we go. Now it's clear. There we go. Okay, when you study situation, game 3. What should I be on the lookout for?
Yeah, you've allowed his folks into your collective, your like technically Rix's house, and
Yeah,
they can take control of, you believe, like they are attempting to take control of the ship.
they're taking. Okay.
That's what you should be
Um,
aware of.
I should be aware of, yeah, that they're trying to take control of the ship. Okay. Uh,
Things changed when you found out Maxon's here.
yeah, okay, that's valid. Uh,
Is it? Actually, I think it's kind of underhanded, but hey, you do you. It seems like you're much more understanding about these nobles and their pitiful egos.
but yeah, so he's trying to take our ship over right now, is what we're realizing.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Um, what, who or what? No, what here is useful or valuable to me?
You do have this first agreement, and he is honor bound to meet that. And you could probably find a way in your house Barnaba schemes to get him to back off. So much so that you could roll with advantage using this information.
Hmm. Um, so let me know if this can work this way, because for who or what is really in control here, could that give me the insight onto who here is the person who's trying to do the overhauling, like, or the controlling?
Sure. That would be Jalel, the
So Joel's trying to do it.
yeah, Jalel,
So
the smoke touched engineer.
she's trying to do that. So I think I pause for a moment and I study his face and I think of his intonations and I say, Udu, you are an honorable man, and we have set forth a deal. You wouldn't do anything that would make it difficult for me to achieve my end of our bargain, would you?
Sounds like you're trying to talk him down from this rash action.
Yep.
Let's see you charm an NPC.
And you said advantage on this with the
You do
information?
have advantage with the information from your seeking insight.
And charm is plus dose. Advantage. The fudgesicles. Oh wait, no, it didn't roll yet. Oh, that's an 11.
5 and 4, and then you had a +2. So yeah, an 11 on getting to think. So yeah, he says, very well. I will find Maxon another time.
And Dubur, I'll send Jalel over with I've attended festivals with this gentleman before. What is his
Oh,
favorite liqueur?
oh yeah. His favorite liqueur is a sweet wine.
Yeah. I have a very honeyed sweet wine I happened to pick up at our last port stop. I'll send Jalel, and he like specifically like I'll send it back with Jalel once he removes himself from our systems after he's finished fixing the ship. And just big smile, doe blue eyes, like
Very well. He smiles and
I think you'll enjoy it.
hmm, thank you, Lord Ulrich.
Ulrich Corbinian. It's a pleasure, Udu the so it's unbeatable, right? Or under
Stoppable.
unstoppable. Udu the unstoppable. He would know that.
Yeah. Cool. Then the Knight Insurgent repairs are completed. Maxon, have you stayed in the room as you were planning on?
I have, yeah. I think I think I might. Hmm, I would like to get in touch with Valara at some point. I don't know that it's urgent, but yeah, I'm still keeping an eye on the kids.
Okay. Repairs are ongoing. Valara, you've had your conversation with Encowed, or Charmed Encowed, the engineer, um, who is named Bex. And I think as Maxon reaches out to you, Bex is showing you the fried circuit board and explaining, I think you've got a saboteur board. I think you're right. Your instincts are right, milady.
Hmm. Thank you for this. Valar takes the damaged board. Um,
And she points out there was like a little bit of like like a type of gel, like an explosive gel, and she
was
shows
applied.
you where the remnants. Yeah,
Uh,
the trigger was heat. She says
Neat.
this could have been placed by someone who isn't on your ship.
Mm, understood. Still, my thoughts lead to treachery. However, this has helped me greatly. Uh, um, is it repaired?
It is.
It is repaired. Um, oh, I want to give her some juicy something, right? Some little tidbit for her to bring back as information. But I don't want to. Definitely not telling her about the kids. Um, oh, in that case, I must tell you how your ship is in danger.
She's
This
a
has
little surprised by this one.
yeah, there's no concern. The asteroid field here has very dangerous creatures. You should keep your distance.
Thank you. My lord will be very happy to know that you have acted so honorably.
May your light always shine. She walks away. Um, and that's probably when Maxon reaches out.
I think when I reach out, I would like step outside, like Jice, you
Sure.
have this.
Yeah.
Jice has probably taken me for a few credits. Like I need to step away, get a breath of air. You have eyes on the cargo.
You bet.
Um, and then in the hall, I think yeah, Guy comes to Valera and ask what you know about the kids, Trid specifically, if anything.
Ooh, what do I know? Maybe I should
Ooh,
know things.
you
Yeah.
should know things.
Roll plus int. Maybe I'm not good at knowing things. Let's see. What's my
Maybe.
int? I'm plus zero, probably. I think that's what we would. Yeah, zero. All right. Rolling flat. Not so good.
Not so smart, are we?
XP Anonymous. All right. Let's see. What? Yeah, I think that one's wide open, isn't it?
Mm.
Oh, yes, it
Oh,
is.
yeah, you have heard of Trid Paddocks. Trid Paddocks was a problem.
Mm.
Trid Paddocks was tempted by the Sith
Ooh.
and was denied
Oh,
entry into the Jedi temples.
oh, just that. Where have you heard this name?
It's one of our passengers, isn't it?
We must tread carefully here, Maxim. Are they awake? Did you wake them?
I did not wake them. However, Trid has spoken to me.
And so you know, it's the U-shaped vessel. I think that's when like Valara has turned the corner and is now looking at you.
Yes.
And it's like comms come off.
Mhm.
And what did she say?
He.
Oh, sorry. What did he say?
He wants us to wake him up. I told him, and he is listening and watching right now. And so I assume that your loyalty to the house is ironclad to Pelagia. And I told him that we are protecting him and taking him home where he'll be safe with his father. Do you agree with that course of action?
I agree with that course of action.
Did you tell me about the Sis thing, or is that just something you knew?
Nope, nope, I'm not telling you
Cool.
anything.
Great, great. Yeah, I think I kind of lean in like you understand what this means. Then the boy is a Jedi.
The boy is a Jedi.
How wonderful for our house.
Our honor will be restored.
And I love that as like a close for that scene.
Yep.
And I think Udo the Unstoppable, even though Rix, you've got your like backup plans, he once this ship has been repaired, um, Udo eases back. But it's obvious that if you pull Nebula Scion with you, there could be problems. You can obviate any problems whatsoever by stripping her bare and leaving her there. But if you want to bring that ship with you, uh, you're going to need to do something about that. Does that make sense?
So yeah, so I think that, you know, my plan is I'm going to drag the ship along with me. As Udu's ship pulls back, I tow both our ship and the Eclipse out, right? And how does he indicate that this is an issue?
He'll hail you as you guys are starting to, as you, night insurgent. You will leave this House Pelagia ship where it was found in Calypso territory. I have been lenient, and I am sure that a person like you has enriched himself with whatever was on that ship, but the ship itself, I claim.
Do the rest of us hear this
Yeah. Oh,
conversation?
yeah. He does. He would happily.
Mhm. I think Maxon speaks up then, and I'm going to declare ownership over something that was taken from our house.
Uh-huh.
hmm
How
And
does
I'll
that
say,
sound? I want to
Oh
hear it.
God.
and I'll just say out loud, Udu, this ship is owned by House Pelagia. And if you were to take it from us, that would be unwise.
I'm busy, as Maxon is saying this, routing his voice, his comms through the other ship.
Nice.
Hmm.
So nobody can deny this claim that's been made. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lay claim. Um, and I think I don't want to put a move on top of a move, so I think that is what it takes. And he is very grumbly
I'm
and
gonna get such an
unhappy.
angry letter.
Pardon?
I just said I'm gonna get such an angry letter about how I need to give him max on.
So angry. Yeah, I think the parting thing is he sends a a coded message to you. Lord Ulrich, I told you he had no honor, and now you see what has happened. And that's it. He does a water response. He's just
Yep.
mad. He's just gonna die mad about it.
Look at this guy. He's terrible.
He's the worst. And your ship is repaired, and you guys pull the Nebula Scion along with you, with Max and with someone riding their eyes. Like, there's a part of me that feels like that's an in session, unless there's any like pocket scenes, almost like post credit something. I just don't want to rip uh, it away from folks if they're like, oh, I wanted a scene to do X or Y. But I
Can we
think
just
our A
confirm?
plot's done.
Can we just confirm like the plan? It seems like we're not giving them to McKetty. We're gonna bring them to Pelagio with the ship. That's like
I mean,
I
that's
mean,
our plan if everyone goes along with
yeah.
it.
So Ulrich will give his support to that plan. He thinks Pelagio is an ally and McKetty is interesting. And of course, yeah, he'll have
Yeah, I mean,
his own spiel when we actually meet up to do it. But he
it's
will
Rick's
be
ship,
on my
so
side.
we'll
Yeah,
see
he'll
what the captain says.
Yeah, and I think the last thing we see is I put in the coordinates for Pelagio. Where were we headed to begin with? Wasn't it back to Pelagio?
you were, yes.
Yeah. So I put the coordinates in there and hit the button, and we see the star wipe.
Nice.
nice. And then I put a not scene in the side. Just want to make sure you saw it, Rich.
A not seen on the side.
Oh yeah. I just like we don't do like a scene, but I imagine Ulrich Corinthian, the call ends with Udo and he grabs the bottle, sachets over to Jalel and is like and has a smaller flask with him of something luxurious, which he'll gift to Jalel for like, first it's like this is for your captain, thank you for all your help. This is also for your help. And he will give Jalel like a little winky wank. Uh
Nice.
hard
Uh,
work.
go ahead and mark this. I think there's a notes section. You can have advantage on a roll with Jalel in the future.
Nice.
Okay.
You'll remember
I,
this.
I assume we're going to start charting a course next session.
Let's do that now so I can know if it's a miss. Oh, did you
Well,
mark
it's
your
not.
XP for your miss?
It's not a rolling move. It's
Oh, you're right. You're right. There is some cool stuff. Yeah, this is very like fellowship fun, if I
Mhm.
remember correctly. Set out on the journey and present each of the challenges one at a time. Surprise you couldn't have seen coming. Yeah, let's open with that. I think that'll be fun. Yeah, because it's like a lot of storytelling and it'll take a good bit of. It seems emotionally appropriate that we end here, if that's okay with everybody. Cool. Let's do our end of session. So please first look over your drives, and I'll go around and ask if you've demonstrated or struggled with your drive. And if you can, you get to mark XP. Let's start from the right-hand side of the character keeper, heading towards the left. Valar, did you struggle or demonstrate your drive?
I'm sorry, that was me. Actually, no, I don't think so this time. Um, I think Maxon's in more desperate need than he may realize, but I'm not sure I necessarily fulfilled the endangering part. So
Okay. Wait. Let's take a look. Let me double check here. Endanger yourself coming to the aid of someone in desperate need. I I think you know that this is a Sith kid and you're still trying to help him out. That seems like you're endangering the whole crew and also holding the information. That seems, I don't know. Seems like it.
okay,
Okay.
I'll take it.
Rix,
Levels me up.
did you
Mine
break the
is
law?
break the law.
Da-da-da-da. Breaking the law, breaking the law.
I think I stretched, my authority under the law. I'm not sure that that's actually breaking it, though.
I think House Calypsa would argue that you did taking that ship.
There we
Oh,
go.
that's true.
Eclipse is not
Okay.
happy with you.
Okay.
They're writing strongly worded letters. So many strongly worded letters. Cool. Then let us continue towards the left and ask our noble, Lord Ulrich
I think
Corbinian.
I've taken action to uphold the system of traditions. I'm trying to, make deals to ensure that House Barnaba marries to House Barnaba to keep the traditions in place.
That sounds like a thing that happened here. Yeah, I'm into it. Mark an XP. And then we move further left to old Dodd Badoo.
I have to take risk for the sake of riches. I don't think there was a risk uh, that we necessarily got to. It was just kind of like, I would like some riches, please. But
Well, I think both of us expect that we'll be able to get something for this ship, a finder's fee, and for the kids. So we definitely took risks,
Yeah, like the whole setup was a
I guess
good bit
that's
of
fair.
risk.
It just didn't end up being as dangerous as it seemed like it was going to be at the time. So it didn't feel as risky post hoc. But okay, I won't argue.
Sorry, I'll try to make my NPCs more unreasonable. I'll work on that. That's definitely a thing I can do. And then, Maxon.
I think establishing ownership over that ship is bringing justice to that guilty guy who was trying to steal it from us.
He definitely feels like something was brought to him. So,
Yeah.
cool. Excellent. Now we've got some questions for all of you to ask. To answer, I'll ask them, did you have a thrilling adventure?
Define thrilling.
I don't know. You
An
define
adventure.
thrilling. This is
Define adventure. What is an adventure? I feel like I did some politicking. I don't know if is politicking an adventure? Is that?
maybe I mean, it was definitely a down tempo. It was more chit chat. It was more talking.
Mhm.
If you do not feel that qualifies, I understand.
I don't know. I think there was some very much intrigue. We've been sabotaged.
Oh yeah.
I stopped the sabotage
Sabotage.
from happening. I did it with words. Are words thrilling enough to have
But sabotage
sat?
already happened according to some
That
engine.
happened
Oh,
last
right, that other
session.
sabotage.
One
Right.
sort of sabotage.
Yeah, we learned about that, and we had to talk ourselves out of some pretty, I don't know. I was thrilled.
Yeah, no, that's fair. We could have had a whole firefight if things had gone a little worse.
Did you
That's true.
discover something about the galaxy or its history? We'll call that close enough for an XP.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry. Next question is, did you discover something about the galaxy or its history?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Cool.
This kid.
it's on our ship.
It's on
Did
our ship.
did you
He is
defeat
on our ship. We know his pronouns.
did you defeat a threat to the region or its people? I'd say probably not. That one's not something I've easily set up for you guys. So I'll be mindful of that. And then, did you recover or redeem someone someone or something once thought lost? You got XP for that before,
Yeah.
On the ship.
last
Yep.
session.
Uh,
But I think Because Kay, you're acting on that, and your character acted to ensure that. I'll let you have the XP that time if that doesn't seem unfair to the others.
Works for me.
Okay.
Donka.
Did you restore hope?
I think it feels like it.
I
Bringing the
think
kids
Yeah,
home.
we're taking him
Yeah,
Trid's hope.
home.
I think we
Yeah,
restored
bring the
Trid's
kiddo
hope.
home.
I
yeah.
think
Yeah.
everyone else takes XP except Valara, who's not sure we're restoring hope.
Cool.
So what's
Sounds
that
good.
total? Two?
That is restore hope. Uh, and Galaxy Discovery Thrilling Adventure 3. 3 XP for everybody. Cool. Let us move to that's all the mechanic stuff. We're just going to do stars and wishes now. Who wants to go first in wishes?
Uh, I'll go first. First, a wish for myself to remember to roll my hold for my moves at the start of game. Forgot to do that this time, so remember to do that next time. Then my second wish is I would love to have a scene with, come on, stop blacking out on me screen. With our High Lord Thesis Paddocks when we return his children to him.
Cool. That sounds fun.
Mhm. And I guess, adjacently, slightly different wish. I guess I do have to talk to Freda like sometime, somewhere, somehow.
Cool. Thank you very much. Okay. I'd like to go next with wishes.
I can go next with wishes, and it was a wish from last time. I think we'll get there next session. Just a scene with all five characters,
Mm.
um, because we're gonna be, a little bottle episode at the beginning of the next one with all of us traveling. Uh, and yeah, I think. Oh, and then I need to learn what the plans are of the kid, so that I can learn how to thwart his plans. Because that's when I can actually take a vow, and then it's gonna be great.
Yeah, echoing Greg with the multiplayer scenes. I know we had wanted that, and it seems like we're getting a lot of PC, NPC, maybe two PCs, but I'd really like to get
I thought we
three
were opening
plus.
with a group scene, and I expected the group to talk about what are you gonna do, and it didn't happen. So I'll do more. I'll do more. Try to set up for group scenes.
I mean, it's also us saying like I was trying to do that when I was like, let me go talk to Rex. Like,
Mm.
yeah, I could talk to this NPC, but
I
that's
did
not as much
appreciate
fun.
that. Yeah.
Um, and just on a personal level, I'm having trouble keeping all the houses separate and
Mhm.
their interactions. So like getting better at that would be useful because I know that's important background and I find my brain kind of stuttering to a halt when I get to that and going, wait, what was their relationship again? Uh,
Yeah, maybe like an intrigue tab, not to give somebody homework, but
No,
Mm.
that's a good idea. I
yeah,
could do that.
some sort of flowchart type thing with
The,
multicolored.
Big R map.
the enmity grid from.
Do
I think all
enough.
I think all that tab really needs is a list of the houses and then their enemies and their allies, right?
Yeah.
So we can just go real quick and go, there we go.
And maybe like a one sentence, like a phrase. Here's their vibe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, like something about their deal, like Calypsa is currently mad at blank because of blank, rather than the centuries ago or whatever stuff is interesting, but I need to know right now. Like Calypsa is mad at us because or at Pelagia because they claim the ship. Boom. Okay, that's the recent history. Got it.
Got it. Cool. Who, Mark or Steven?
Um,
Wishes?
yeah, I would like someone to hunt.
It's hardly even a hunt for the person you have a bounty on right now. Just like right there.
Yeah.
Seems too easy. Cool. Steven.
I don't really have any wishes. I think it's been pretty well covered, so.
Cool. Steven, you went last with wishes. You could go first with stars.
Um, stars to basically, this was an exciting session. It was really neat to see. There was a lot of tension in on my side. It was like, oh, is this roll going to go okay? And if it does, we're okay. But if not, we've got a big firefight against an unstoppable opponent. Um, so it was neat to see how, Ulrich, talked down Udo and how, Maxon kind of kept to himself and then dealt with the kid. That it was all very good.
Cool. Thank you, Steven. Mark, did you have any stars?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's pretty fun. I like the little like tense scene with our co-pilot, and then the kid talking was like, oh, I did not expect that to happen. That was really great.
Yay.
I think the pressure of like taking a little bit of damage for letting him in my head, like that's like, oh, this is for real. That's great. Yeah, and then the like telling off Udo at the end was nice little cherry on top. Really enjoyed it.
Excellent. I decided on a whim that I was not going to determine which of the two children was talking in your head until I was forced to, and then that I would determine that randomly.
Nice.
So that was a fun bit of like almost a sorriness that I got to like a fun little side game that I had there. Thank you for playing along. Sweet. Thank you, Mark. Keith, did you have any stars or left?
Yeah, I just in general, I love the setup that we have now. All of the pieces that are on the board right now, as it were, and I'm excited to see where that ends up.
Nice.
Especially our two friends in Carbonite.
Yay. Greg, you are next.
This starts the whole group for, checking in and making sure that we're all on board for the right kind of campaign that we're all kind of looking for. Love playing with you all. That's one of the many, many reasons why. And then I do love the some point in my head we're like three ships connected, stacked in space. Just the silliness of we're all like, well, I'm attached to you and you're attached to me. I was looking forward to the perhaps weird getaway, and we might still get it at some point. So
Right. Gonna be fun. And then Kay, bring us home.
Yeah, Starter Rich for helping me, even though we may have done this before, but since we forgot, figuring out how to make my concept work after my own, sort of mishaps, shenanigans earlier, and just making the concept work. Found a way to make it fit with the rest of the group, and so I appreciate that. And it's one of the reasons why I respect you so much as a GM. And I'm just like, yeah, Rich game, yes.
Mm.
Uh, Greg, I love just the way that you sort of had Valara turn what could have been a very like enemy situation into an ally situation very diplomatically in a way that I was not expecting from this character. Uh, and especially given how Ulrich views her, like part of me is a little sad that Ulrich like doesn't know that happened because that could have been like an interesting thing. Um, then obviously a star to just Mark for just really like we established, yeah, Udo doesn't like Maxon, and then just stepping up and being like and just really grinding those gears in to make that tension was delightful. And then Keith, just like the little mouse back and forth, like very, very cute. I guess I don't know. I don't know Dodd from her previous series, but I am excited to see kind of more of that, just like her sort of just jive and how she seems to like really roll well with everything. Like she's very go with the flow that I think is very antithetical to my character. So I'm excited to see how that works. especially given the bomb he created. And then Steven, yeah, no, I love Rick's just being like, and I've got my 3-7 billion backup hands because I'm a scoundrel and I know how I would fuck you all over, so I need to make sure you don't fuck me all over.
Yep.
Oh, good stuff. Awesome. Really enjoyed the session. Thank you guys for the like midpoint pause and all of our cool conversation, finding a way forward. I'm excited for the remaining sessions and where we take things. So with that, we'll bring this session to a close.